Hi Leos, how are y'all? Sorry your video is so late, so we'll do it until this point, mid-September until mid-October. Virgo season has just kind of been kicking my ass logistically, which is things that I have to handle and responsibilities, so sorry your video is late. So let's get right into the reading and let's see what's going on with Leos for the remaining month of September. So the first card that popped up and then flipped back over was Nine of Pentacles. So I think a lot of you are definitely dealing with managing some personal finances and maybe taking responsibility for some financial situations, and it's making you feel good about yourselves. It's making you feel sort of empowered. So definitely a lot of you feeling financially independent, or like you're financially responsible, and it's in turn allowing you to feel good about yourself. So let's see what else comes out, and if the Nine of Pentacles wants to come back out, then we will pull it back out. So I wanted to fix that. I'm like kind of sitting on the floor and set it up because I just haven't had a good reading space really lately. So let's get into it. So messages for Leo for September 2017 into mid-October. Messages for Leo. Okay. The Star. So some of you might be dealing with an Aquarius, or relationships with Aquarians are very positive at this time for you, or there's definitely a dream or a hope or a wish that's sort of coming to fruition for you, and it might involve an Aquarius, but I'm definitely getting, there's really positive energy from Aquarians, right? Like when Aquarius turns up as the Star, you're getting kind of like the best qualities of an Aquarius versus when an Aquarius comes up as the King of Swords. There's a difference in the energies that are being picked up on in the Aquarian energy. So let's see what else is going on for Leos. Any other messages for Leos? The Emperor. Yeah. Knight of Wands. So again, a lot of you, there's a sense of empowerment really going on. Like there's something is coming to fruition, and it's coming in fast. Things are kind of coming together very quickly. Good. And that's really good to see. King of Wands, another fire. So we're getting a lot of fire here. The Star being an Aquarius card does represent air, and I do feel that fire and air can really work well together in terms of, the visionary aspects, the visionary ideas of air signs being able to be brought into reality, right? Through the action of the fire sign. So let's see what else is coming up for you all. So far, I'm feeling really positive about this. Six of Pentacles, yeah. I feel like there were some financial responsibilities. Something needed to be balanced out financially, and it's sort of balancing out. Sorry, the lighting is sort of crappy, and I'm like in my pajamas and don't look the greatest right now. I don't apologize for that, but I apologize for the lighting. That's for certain. So we have the Three of Pentacles, and then we have the Page of Pentacles here, but let's see what else comes up. So yeah, I'm really feeling like there's some stuff, and for me, everything's being really, I'll show you the cards in a minute, but everything's being, for me, I feel like is top to bottom sort of relationships that I'm seeing right now. Some left to right, but a lot of top to bottom. The Tower. Still bright, still kind of dealing with that energy that's kind of left over from the solar eclipse. It is a major, but I'm not, like, when it came up, I didn't get a feeling of urgency behind it. So I think that this is something that's already been happening, and it's sort of, y'all have been sort of dealing with this Tower energy since the eclipse, since, you know, basically all of August, because there was so much going on at that time with the lunar and the solar eclipses. So any other messages for Leo for September? Okay, and mid-October. And strength, here y'all are. Yay, strength. Leos. And on the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, like I said, once again, overall energy, sort of underlying vibes that we're getting, definitely feeling, you know, I'm feeling more this card. Definitely feeling like there were some things that needed to be sort of handled financially, or financial responsibilities that you're taking on and handling, and you're feeling good about it. It's in turn sort of upping your self-esteem to be financially responsible and to be in charge of your own, not just finances, but to really be the ruler or the leader of your own environment, of your own resources. Feels really good for Leo. So here are the cards, and let me see if I can adjust the lighting. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. It's not such a glare. So we have the Star, as I mentioned before, and the Emperor. So, and we have a lot of major arcanas, and we have a couple people, right? Some people in the mix. And I feel like these people are helpful. I feel like you definitely have some fire signs in the midst. Some other Leos, maybe Aries, Sagittarians, that, you know, people that have fiery energy, people that are, you know, manifestors, helping you to manifest whatever the Star card sort of represents for you. And so the Star card, like I mentioned before, you know, either an Aquarius is playing a huge role right now in your life, and in terms of really sort of helping you to reach your dreams and wishes, and to sort of see things come through. Like there's an Aquarius that's definitely being sort of a supportive hand right now for you. And again, like I mentioned, this Aquarius, whoever this person is definitely showing up in a very positive way. They're showing up as the Star. They're showing up in their highest form, in their highest vibration, right? They're showing up as being incredibly optimistic for the future. They're showing up as having, you know, faith and belief that, you know, things in the future can work out. They're showing up as that energy that really cares, and, you know, cares about the transformation of society at large, things of that nature. And whatever, you know, the relationship is with this person, this Aquarius, this Star card, it's a very balanced relationship. It's one where you feel like, you know, you're both giving and receiving equally with this person. And that financially, you know, you don't have to worry. You know, Leos, y'all are, you know, yes, ruled by the sun. Yes, that, you know, being the planet of the ego, or the body that represents the ego, or, you know, the self, and, you know, self-identity. But Leos are also, I have a lot of my closest friends are Leos. And, you know, incredibly, you know, loving and giving, and are ready and willing to admire you as much as they want to be admired themselves. So definitely willing to always return, you know, the favor, essentially. And sometimes that can be draining for Leos, because, you know, there is this sense of constantly wanting to be warm and giving and loving towards everybody. And so then what's left for you, right? Like what's left for Leo, right? And that, you know, Leos are actually very much aware of the imbalance. Leos are very much, you know, conscious of the imbalance, you know, in resources between them and another person, or give and take in it with another person, but may not say anything in order to just kind of save face almost. So that's, you know, that's one aspect that I've kind of observed in a lot of Leos that I know, and Leos that I've had close relationships with. is that there is this desire to want to give, but we have to be careful to balance that out with what are you receiving in return, you know. And for those of you who this doesn't represent an Aquarius, I definitely see this representing some, you know, healing. There's healing energy coming in. There's healing energy. There is, you know, there might have been an imbalance prior to the eclipse, the solar eclipse, right? And I'm going back to the eclipse because, especially for you all, for Leos and Aquarians, I definitely try to backtrack and talk about the eclipses quite a bit in the readings for this month, because we don't just have an eclipse or an astrological moment as big as a solar eclipse, right? And then it just passes and it's gone. Like the energies are like, there were lessons that were dropped into our lap. There were energies that we were given to work with, and now we have to work with them. And now we have to sort of mold and shape them, right? And create whatever foundation it is that we see, right? This is a foundation card. So I do see you all taking, right? Like whatever energies were provided, lessons were provided, and creating, you know, this foundation. And I think there was a lot of, when I was watching the solar eclipse in August, there was I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of reflection over power. And like, you know, power is power. How are you using your power? How has power been so abused? And how is it that the moon needed to kind of step in, right? And kind of shade out the sun? Because there's a lot of ways, you know, that are happening socially, globally, you know, where power is being abused, right? And so I think a lot of Leos, I think one of the questions that might have come up for Leos during the eclipse was like, where's my personal power, and how am I either abusing it or not really utilizing it? Like where am I misusing my power? Like what are the foundations of my power, right? Because Leo is all about, you know, yes, being center of attention, yet, but it's also very much about leadership, rulership, power, and, you know, ruling over others, right? And I think one of the questions is, well, how do you rule over yourself, right? How are you ruling over your own resources, finances, your own dreams? Like, how are you allowing this to come to fruition by being the ruler of your own life? And sorry, I got off track a little bit, but once again, for those of you who this wasn't an Aquarius, definitely getting the vibe that this has to do with a dream, or, you know, healing energy, or a dream that is coming to fruition. That's, you know, something that you feel like the karma's sort of balancing out, and you are now able to sort of, you know, create, you know, whatever this was, right? Because the star represents our dreams, and whatever this dream was, we're now able to take it and put some foundation. We're going to lay some bricks. We're laying bricks this month for you all, and going into mid-October. You know, and laying the bricks requires, like, this emperor is not a foolish, or, you know, he's not a foolish ruler or leader, right? He is a ruler or a leader that sees over other kingdoms, right? And he has to be able to discern what is necessary and what is not necessary for any kingdom at any given time, right? And what I'm trying to get at is that the emperor, you know, while like the emperor didn't get here like just because, you know, like the emperor didn't get here by doing nothing, or the emperor didn't get here just by having a big ego. The emperor got here because they took action. The emperor got here because he, you know, had the discipline, the self-discipline, right? He's also a warrior. He's a battler, right? He's a great strategist. Like, he understands what it takes. He understood what it was going to take for him to get here, and he was willing to sacrifice that. He was willing to sacrifice a lot in order to get onto this throne. And a lot of people just think the Emperor is about power. And yes, it is about power, and it is about, you know, being the master of your own life, or the master of whatever situation it's coming up in, and sometimes in a sort of abrasive and aggressive way, because it's an Aries card, right? And Aries are, you know, can be an aggressive energy. Aries energy can be pretty aggressive. You know, but the Emperor, he also is incredibly self-disciplined. He also knows what it takes, right? He knew how to get up here. And it started with this. It started with a foundation. It started, because for me, the Three of Pentacles represents the laying of foundations, whether it's between you and another person, or you know, trying to create some kind of financial abundance or financial wealth in your life. You know, you have to start somewhere. And these two people are bringing these blueprints to a committee of people, right? Or they could be getting married, whatever it is. There is a plan. There is a plan here. There's a contract here, a plan here, blueprint. So some of you might be looking to build a home. Some of you might also be marrying strictly for, you know, contractual reasons. Maybe you have children with somebody, and the best way to sort of protect those children is to be married, right? And that's what you think you need to do in order to protect your children, or to give them certain rights, or, you know, certain privileges when it comes to you two, that you need to marry for the sake of, and for the betterment of either your children or your financial situation. You know, but this is, I don't want to say it's loveless, but this is not, you know, it's different from the Ten of Cups or from the Two of Cups, right? In the sense that there's definitely a heavier association with an emotional connection as to why two people are coming together. Whereas this Three of Pentacles, these two people are coming together because there's business to be handled, right? And they may love each other, but it's a very Capricornian kind of energy, right? Where yes, we have feelings and there's love, but there's also responsibilities to handle. Capricorn, Saturn, I get that vibe when I see this card. And so there's, you know, definitely, I do see this as you all, right? I see this Emperor as you all, feeling incredibly powerful. But, you know, remember, you know, that we're in Virgo season, and Virgo is about earth signs. Virgos definitely about, self-discipline, sacrifice. What did I have to do to get to the top? Same with Capricorn, right? What did I have to do to get here? And, so combining, merging your Leo energy, right, with that sort of, with this archetype. So we have the Knight of Wands here, and I feel that whatever is happening in this situation, whatever contract, whatever foundation is being built, whatever, like I had mentioned before, maybe some of you are building a house, some of you are getting married, and it's, you know, more so out of, you know, responsibility to family or responsibility to children or to, you know, financial purposes, that it's definitely happening very fast. I do also read these as, two people or a progression of one person. I want to get some more clarification. Can I have information about the Knight of Wands, please? Information about, that's a lot. I don't think I need that much. Sorry. Information about the Knight of Wands. Can I get clarification as to why the Knight of Wands is here? Okay, so I feel like this is definitely a person who, I just heard business partner, or I heard partner. The word partner came to mind. And yeah, things are, like I said before, things are happening very quickly, right? This card, to me, when this card comes up, things are happening swiftly. They're happening fast. They're coming in. But it's good. It's positive information that's being delivered. It's positive action, positive energy that's being expended. Can I get Like, why is the Knight of Wands here? Who is the Knight of Wands? Who is this person for Leo? Who is this person? King of Swords. So yeah, a person. And again, it can also represent the same Aquarius here, right? The same person. Maybe there's communication that's going to, like, maybe there are ideas, there is inspiration that's being shared between you and this person. I wish I could get more specific. I'm sorry it's so vague, but it is a general reading, right? So this Knight of Wands, definitely, you know, the incoming, right? The very fast and speedy approach of, you know, inspiration and ideas and communication with this King of Swords, who I do feel might be the same Aquarius that I brought up earlier in the reading. Because King of Swords to me represents an Aquarius. It's the most evolved of the suit of swords. It's the master of the sword, the master of air, and that is, you know, what the Aquarian archetype is. And so there's a lot of action happening between you and this air sign. But underneath it all, we have this Tower card. So I feel like this person at the same time, while they have this really positive sort of, like, even with this King of Swords, who can be cold, right? Who can be cold, who can be, you know, a cutthroat, right? He doesn't have that sword for no reason, right? He's cutthroat. He can be cold, kind of unapproachable, very kind of calculating, and is, you know, there's not a lot of warmth here, right? This is you're talking about a sign born in the dead of winter. Not a lot of warmth, right? Adaptable to the cold. Knows how to handle the cold, both metaphorically and literally. And now we have this Tower card underneath. And so, you know, this person, this energy, being an opposing energy to you, right? And it doesn't have to be an Aquarius. It can just be an energy that you are not really accustomed to dealing with this person. And while there are some really beautiful positive things happening, like I see the Eight of Wands as being a really positive card, and you know, it's the bringing of good news. It's the arrows of love. It's has many different representations. I'm not getting a romantic feeling. I'm definitely feeling that this is more a business sort of work related sort of reading. I don't see a lot of cups, right? The Eight of Wands it can be a passionate, like, passion coming between you and another person, very quick and passionate. Like the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands to me represents something passionate occurring very quickly and ending just as quickly as it started, right? And so while this person kind of comes in and shakes things up a little bit for you, right? This person is not a comfortable energy. This person is a little bit different from what you have sort of been putting up with. And as we go along, I'll kind of clarify all of this, but these are the connections that I'm making at the moment. And then we have this King of Wands here. So potentially another fire sign or another person. So can we get clarification on this King of Wands? Can I get some clarification on the King of Wands? Something wanted to pop out, but did not pop out all the way. Clarification regarding the King of Wands. You know, and when the King of Wands comes up for me, he is he, you know, has this sort of clenched, sorry about that, I had a thought that ran away with me. He's got this clenched fist. he's kind of got this angry face. And if you've watched any of my other videos and the King of Wands has come up, I kind of give the same description, right? But I feel that this is, you know, somebody who's trying to hang on to power. And especially with the Strength card underneath, there's somebody that's trying really hard. There's somebody that's trying extremely hard and that's looking right in your direction. I do feel that this is a different person. At first I was kind of like, is this Leo? Kind of, but I was like, no, Leo is in this Emperor energy. Leo's kind of evolving. Leo's, you know, Leo's learned some lessons in the solar eclipse and regarding power, right? Whereas I feel like the King of Wands, you know, if there's going to be any king that I would sort of accuse of abusing his power, it would be the King of Wands. King of Swords, not so much. King of Cups, never. King of Pentacles, never. King of Swords is too objective to allow hot-headed emotions, whatever, to control his behavior. So, and that also could be why this person is a bit confusing to you, because being a Leo, being a fire sign, being a very passionate fire sign, there is this thriving off of the fieriness and the energy, and you know, and that emotions can run deep and run wild when it comes to fire signs, and sometimes not, depends what else is in your chart, right? But the archetype of the fire sign, of the Leo, the lion, is that there's passion, right? There can be anger, there's ego, there's all of these different things that, you know, if we're not careful, we can compulsively and impulsively react to them. And this King of Wands, to me, is the king that would react, compulsively to his emotions or to his ego or to his bruised ego or to his sense of loss of control, right? And I definitely do feel that there's a person who's really trying to hang on to you. This being you, and being in relationship with this King of Wands card. You know, and the Leo representing you all, right? You all being Leo. Leo the lion, right? And there's somebody who's trying to sort of tame you or who's trying to control you in a certain way. And I feel like this King of Wands sees that you have this other person here. You have this King of Swords here, right? Who is also showing up in a very beautiful and positive way, right? And is balanced. There's not a power struggle. You're not experiencing a power struggle with this person. And yes, there's passion there. There is, you know, there's passion. There's a lot coming in. And I think that you all are feeling this a little bit more than this person is. I feel that, you know, this Eight of Wands, this Knight of Wands energy is being felt more by you and is being sort of held more by you. And this King of Swords is super chill. They like you a lot. They're just super chill, right? They're just kind of hanging back, and that's not really comfortable for you. But I want to get clarification on the Tower and possibly even the Strength card. But I didn't even need to pull clarification for this. It just sort of, you know, found its way through. But I do feel that this represents another person who might even be jealous, right? Because yes, they're a king, they've got their own power, but you're a fucking emperor. Like there's might even be somebody around you who is sort of envious of whatever this emperor is, whatever that Nine of Pentacles energy is, even the Six of Pentacles and the Star card, right? We have some really positive, beautiful things surrounding the Emperor. And, you know, the only thing that I might be slightly concerned about is the Tower card, but we'll get clarification for that. And so I feel like this person is having issues, you know, with, you know, you got a hater, right? I feel like this person is kind of not, like, is trying to kind of tame you or, you know, fan out your flame. So don't let them do that. And you know who it is, right? And they may not say it to your face, but that's how they're really feeling. But can I get clarification for the Tower card, please? Can I get clarification for the Tower? Okay, so the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords came out. Yeah, so, you know, I think that it's, there's a new beginning, right, with this King of Swords. There's a new beginning, right? There's passion there. But then also, like, having, again, the Emperor. What makes the Emperor different than the King of Wands? The Emperor has the same drive, if not more, right? The Emperor holds this wand. The Emperor is passionate and definitely, you know, has this desire to, you know, be on top and to succeed and to achieve, right? But the Emperor also approaches and has, like I said before, was a military man. He was a strategist. He was in battle and he survived. So this Emperor also knows the importance, right? This Emperor also knows the importance of the qualities of this King of Sword, and that, you know, being able to, you know, yes, like, how do we balance out the heart and the mind, right? To always react from a place of emotional reaction, because the wands can be a bit compulsive. Wands are compulsive, fast, fleeting energy. So to constantly react to life in this sort of wands, fiery, compulsive, you know, impulsive sort of energy, will create this, right? And always coming from life from a point of view of being a mental strategist and only living in the intellect can also create this, right? In a more of 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords kind of way as well, because then you're just being controlled by your mind. So, you know, how to balance out these two energies. And it's not easy. It's a new, right? Because these aces represent new beginnings for me. So it's a new chapter. It's a new journey that you're sort of embarking with, you know, these two energies, the merging of these two energies. And it can cause us to really look at the structures and the beliefs in our lives and the foundations in our lives that aren't really serving us, right? It can force us to, especially when we get into relationships and we're in relationships that aren't just always about this, but also include this, right? And a little bit of the pentacles and a little bit of the cups, right? Like when we're entering into these more mature relationships, what we used to know and do in relationships can sort of change. And yeah, that's kind of, and I know that I mentioned before that I'm not getting relationships vibes. Now I am. So just that's how, and again, we have this 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, that's just kind of how readings sort of ebb and flow for me, is that 1 minute, doors open as the reading goes along, in terms of like my intuition and what I'm downloading and receiving for you all. So I want to now get clarification on the Strength card. But I do feel that this again is this person really trying to sort of, this other person who's looking outside in, and they want what you have, and they kind of just want to take it from you. But the Strength being a major, I do want to get the bigger picture of this larger energy. So what, can you have clarification? Can I have clarification for the Strength card, please? Clarification for the Strength card. Why is the Strength card here? Why is the Strength card here? Maybe they don't want to tell me. Yeah, there's some kind of conflict. Don't give into it, right? I feel like this King of Wands, you know, have the strength to not engage, right, in this. And if this ends up, and if you can't really avoid this, just confront it. Confront whoever this person is, right? If you feel that you need to, pick your battles wisely, but also be mindful that you may be battling somebody who just isn't, who's being really blinded by their ego and their emotions and their, you know, anger at the moment. Look out for Aries. And look out, yeah, like watch out for any Aries that might be agitating you at the moment. And, you know, the blending of these energies also makes a lot of sense, because we're also going to be entering into Libra season as we head into October, and I'm doing this reading for mid-October. So really, you know, the blending of opposite energies, how do we harmonize two things that don't go together, right? How do we make beauty out of things that appear to be kind of ugly, right? So that's what I'm getting for you all for this month, this period of time. And so let me get an outcome card for Leo for September to mid-October. Outcome for Leo for September to mid-October. Okay. So a bit more of like a mini reading, right, in the outcome. So 10 of Wands, the completion of the cycle. You know, like if y'all have been working really, really hard, it's about to pay off. Yes, this energy is going to end soon. Like I said before, right? There's something that's kind of cooking here, and it might be overwhelming, but it's going to create options for you. It's going to create a lot of options for you as to, like, can I travel? Like, can I have a home here and a home there? Right? Like, you don't have to leave things. Like, you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, is what I'm kind of feeling. Not with people. Don't do that with people. Don't ever do that with people. But what I'm saying is in terms of work opportunities, business opportunities, right? Maybe you thought you were going to have to give up one thing in order to move forward and do another, but this can stay standing while you go off and sort of do your own thing. And it's going to allow you to sort of hold on to some financial resources. Don't get too attached, right? Like, remember this, right? And when we are in this energy, when we're not sort of allowing ourselves to give, we can't receive. It's all about the balancing out. So I'm going to receive as much as I'm giving. And so don't, like, yes, you're going to be able to hold on to some resources, but remember to let it go, because then you can allow bigger and better things to come back to you. So, all right, Leo, that is your reading for the month of September into mid-October. And if you'd like a personal reading, you can email me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, which is tattoosandtarot.com. I'm getting it redone, so it's probably not a good idea. I'm not even sure if it's going to be working as of tomorrow. So I'm having my website redone. So you can either email me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or I'm gonna add a link where you can book an appointment with me if you want a personal reading. And also, if last month you booked a reading with me and have not heard from me, I need you to email me. Because what happens is, and this is why I'm having my website redone, is that if you booked a reading through my website last month, PayPal would not allow me to contact you. So if you paid for a reading and never heard from me, it's because I need you to email me and let me know what your questions are, or a good time to talk on the phone, or what reading you'd prefer. So yeah, if you paid for a reading, send me an email and we can set something up. But in any case, I hope you all have a happy rest of September, and I will see you all in October. All right, bye, Leos.